It has been 1 week since we were treated to some kind of Netflix, some kind of a movie in Parliament. Honorable AKOL Anthony was in the center of a very barbaric kind of fight with his counterpart from Itiana municipality, uh, Honorable ZAAKE. Ladies and gentlemen, since it is 1 week and this has been a very hot topic, actually the topic has been hotter than the coffee debate itself. And that is why we still find it important to discuss. If we are to believe what circulates over social media, this case could be in court because there is already a notice of intention to sue which has been served to Honorable Akol and his entourage. So we would say that if this case goes to court, we will not be able to be speaking about it openly. So when we still have that uh, time to speak about it, it is important to weigh in and we try to discuss. Uh, People are divided. There are those who say we can justify his fighting, he did the right thing. Even if it is me, I was going to box Zake. Then there's some of us who think he could have done something else. He could have sought for other interventions, and that the fight was not necessary. So people are really divided, and very many people are trying to justify Akol's action. By the way, I've noticed that even Akol himself seems to justify his actions. Recently on Mega FM, actually, it was very interesting when the moderator, I loved the question from the moderator. The moderator asked him when he was for that famous Tayat that supposing we are able to rewind whatever transpired, we are able to rewind maybe by some divine power and rewind back. And then I asked the call that now, would you still box the K or you would do otherwise? And then the way he responded to it is very interesting. Akol said that his action was a reflect. It is something that is very saddened. That is how he urges it out. And that by implication means that if we are to rewind the situation again, he would probably box Zake again. And that's, I mean, that is very interesting and that's very funny at the same time. Uh, this is my advice to Akol because it looks like he's using the word reflex several times to try to justify his action, that he actually it was a reflect action. Um, I think if going forward, I would advise that he chooses another word, another scientific word, because if we are to actually dive deeper into reflect actions, then I do not want to believe that his action was a reflect. A reflect action is actually a sudden reaction. I mean, a reaction to, yeah, sudden reaction to some kind of a stimuli. Okay, when you accidentally touched fire, there's a way you remove your hand very fast. That is a reflect action. Uh, then maybe when you see a snake, like you see a snake, when you are doing other things, all of a sudden you turn like this and you see a snake. Then immediately you jump and sometimes you even shout. That is what we call a reflect action. And in most cases, reflect actions actually occurs in which the person responding to the stimuli evades the scene, tries to be evasive, run away a bit. And that action takes place within a very, very short time to the extent that the person does not think, but the person actually, the response is uh, by the spinal cord, not by the brain. But then reflect action is a one-off event, something that happened one-off. So like when we get back to the example of the snake, when you are just there and you have seen a snake all of a sudden, what you do is you jump away. Okay? The moment you have jumped away, immediately, that is now the reflect action. Then now, whatever follows from there is no longer reflect. Whatever follows from there is no longer like you can decide I think the snake is small, I can beat it up and it will die. Then you try to beat it. Oh, you say, I cannot manage a fight with this snake, let me run away. And then you continue running. At that point now, it is no longer a reflect action, but it is the brain that has taken full control. You are using your conscience to make judgments on whether you should, or the actions that you must take after the reflect actions, okay? Because the reflect action is more of evasive, more of evading danger that could be a threat to your existence, or something that can sustain and give you some pain. So a cause action therefore is not a question of reflect action. And I can give you two evidences to prove this. One, if you watch the video carefully from how somewhere it started, you would visibly see a call after getting in heated argument with ZAAKE. At some point, you will see a call picking his notebook, putting it down, picking the phone, putting it down, an indicator that he has anticipated something. He is actually prepared to do something that in case ZAAKE comes to do anything, maybe stupid a bit, then he will have to fight. So it was visible that he prepared himself psychologically and mentally. He prepared himself. So this fight was premeditated. His actions are going to be premeditated. And that is why, to me, even his reactions were out of proportion. He blew it out of proportion. It was bigger than the stimulus itself. Okay? So that cannot be a reflect action. It is something that he premeditated. He put the phone aside so that if he's fighting, they cannot fall and break. It was clear. So that's not reflect action. Number two, the fact that he threw there more than a punch. He actually threw up to 5 punches. This can never be a reflect action. 5 punches is never a reflect action. This is something that the brain is clearly in work. You know what you're doing. You throw punches, and if it was not stopped, he was likely to even throw more. So that cannot be a reflect action. And if he is going to insist on using reflex as a kind of a justification for fighting, I think it is a lie. He planned, he knew that he was going to fight, and yet he continued to fight. So that fighting cannot be justified just because we think it is some kind of a reflect action which you have no control over. That is a lie. There is an argument that he also brings forth that um, he was pissed off, he was very annoyed because ZAAKE said stupid actually. And he's trying to use this assertion. We have not yet verified. No one has verified whether ZAAKE truly said that. But still, even if he said or not, he's trying to use it also like to bring more of us the Acholis to believe him and even try to justify his fight. But that statement, even if ZAAKE said stupid Acholi to him, if you're to break the word stupid actually into two, there is the word stupid, then there is the word actually. One, ZAAKE is well aware that AKOL is an actually. And then two, ZAAKE believes that AKOL is stupid. According to him, he believes AKOL is stupid. So combining the two words, actually, it was him abusing AKOL as an individual. That by no means brings the entire Chole into the questions. I don't think, and I don't want to believe, and that's how he was arguing over Radio Mega, that he abused, or even if him as a call is stupid, but it cannot be the other Chole who is not stupid. But even this abuse, if it was really done, if he so abused alcohol, it was directed at alcohol. I don't think it amounts to tribal conflicts. We are trying now to draw a line between two tribes in these conflicts. That it appears like now it is an Achule versus Buganda kind of thing, which I think it is wrong. First, it is not verified that he truly said it. Then, even if he said, I don't think it amounts to abusing the entire tribe, and therefore, we are not going to be drawing sympathies and trying to justify our actions by bringing in certain things that are very sentimental. That is my advice. Me, his actions were premeditated. He anticipated, and therefore they are not reflexes. He must get a different explanations for defying the odds and fighting barbarically in the ogre's house, because the ogre's house is supposed to be for men with emotional intelligence, people of intellect, people of values, people that respect themselves and try to contain certain provocations even within certain uh, even if it exceeds certain threshold. We need to have high thresholds to accommodate certain things. To me, Honorable Cole took advantage of Zake. Zake was already pissed off. The topic, the topic that was at the floor, the bill there directly affects Zake and his people, and therefore, as a politician, his electorates are on him. They are counting on him to make things happen, because even AKOL himself admits that the bill is very controversial. It has some attachments which is beyond the ordinary. He even agrees like that. So Zake was already pissed off. The bill is there. He was supposed to discuss. Zake wants to speak. The microphone is off. He tries to talk. They tell him go and sit. He comes to sit. He finds that his seat has been taken away. So the whole thing, Zake was already somebody just not in a very good state of mind, and it was possible that he could do something a little bit stupid. And I would have expected a call to be more honorable and would have understood the situation and try to not go into the physical confrontation with a man he can visibly beat. So there is even no pride in that fight, because you beat somebody who we expected to beat even from day one. It's not like he beat up somebody who was too strong. Okay, so we don't want this fight to be justified. Let us keep this parliament a place which unites the whole nations, because as a parliamentarian, we were expecting to be making more allies than trying to do things that looks like actually MPs are going to be isolated, which is very bad, because we need more allies. Because the next thing could be issues like we are preempting issues of land. If you don't have allies in parliament, but you're creating more enemies in parliament, how are you going to win a controversial bill that now this time directs on you? This time it is the coffee. Even when you understand the Hynard's intentions, you still go ahead and think change not be inevitable, and then you are fighting, you are trying to derail people from the discussions, and the whole discussion changes. How would you expect these people to back you up the time that another bill targets your people? We are supposed to make as many allies in parliament as possible, but not enemies. I would expect them, as at was in opposition. I would have expected them with a single leader of opposition in parliament. I would expect him to be more tolerant to Zake, given the state of his mind that was visible in that parliament on that day. So that is my advice to him. His actions were not reflex action. That is what I can say. Thank you very much.